Let's hope we continue to gather information all the way down.
Or something more than information.
Exactly.
Treasure.
Treasure, treasure, treasure.
What if, after more than 230 years of failed treasure hunts, Oak Island is finally about to reveal its greatest secret? For decades, every excavation ended the same way, with collapsed shafts, mysterious flood tunnels, and clues that vanished just when the truth seemed within reach. But Season 13 has changed everything. This time, the team isn't relying on luck. They're using military-grade ground-penetrating radar, advanced seismic imaging, deep borehole drilling, and robotic probes to scan beneath the island like never before. And what these technologies have detected is leaving even experienced researchers stunned. Hidden cavities, unexplained density anomalies, and strange metallic traces buried nearly 100 feet underground have reignited speculation that a massive man-made chamber could finally have been found. If these discoveries are confirmed, the Season 13 finale could become the biggest breakthrough in Oak Island's history, one that could solve a mystery that has fascinated the world for more than 2 centuries. Before we uncover the evidence and see what the latest scans have revealed, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next discovery might finally answer the question treasure hunters have been asking since 1795. What is really buried beneath Oak Island? One of the biggest challenges facing the Oak Island investigation lies beneath the surface. The island is surrounded by flooded excavation shafts and a maze of underwater passages that are far too dangerous for people to explore directly. To investigate these hidden areas, the team deployed high-resolution underwater cameras and robotic inspection systems. The footage captured submerged wooden beams, unusual formations, and structural remains that could be connected to historic digging operations or the island's mysterious flood tunnel network. The most intriguing development of Season 13 came after scientists examined the latest deep drilling data. In a section of the island that has been under investigation for years, borehole samples revealed something no one expected. At a depth of roughly 90 to 100 feet, the underground readings changed dramatically. Under normal conditions, soil and rock at that depth produce fairly consistent density measurements. This location, however, showed values many times greater than the surrounding ground. Instead of behaving like ordinary Earth, the data suggested the presence of an extremely compact mass. Such an anomaly could point to a massive stone formation, an artificial underground wall, or even part of a hidden chamber. When geologists reviewed the results, they immediately identified the location as one of the highest priority targets of the entire expedition. Oak Island has produced countless mysterious readings over the past 2 centuries, but few have appeared this distinct. Because of that, Marty Lagina and his team have shifted much of their attention to this single area. To better understand what lies below, the crew drilled more than 15 boreholes surrounding the anomaly. Their goal is to determine whether the unusual readings come from a small isolated object or a much larger underground structure extending beneath the island. The mystery deepened even further when the instruments began detecting metallic signatures. Borehole sensors and electromagnetic equipment recorded responses that were far stronger than those typically produced by ordinary soil or natural rock. These results have led experts to believe that some type of metal may be buried beneath the site. Naturally, this raises an even bigger question. What exactly is producing those signals? Some researchers speculate they could be caused by ancient coins, valuable artifacts, remnants of ship cargo, or metal components reinforcing an old wooden vault. Others point to the long-standing legends surrounding Oak Island, suggesting that Spanish treasure, pirate wealth, or even relics linked to the Knights Templar could still be hidden underground. If any of those theories prove accurate, The estimated value of such a discovery could range between $150 million and $300 million. However, the team remains cautious. Oak Island has produced promising clues many times before, only for later excavations to reveal natural geological formations instead of hidden treasure. That is why every new core sample is now being carefully examined in laboratories, while the scan results are independently reviewed before any major excavation decisions are made. Even so, one fact is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. The mysterious zone located nearly 100 feet below the surface has become the centerpiece of the entire investigation. Should it contain a sealed chamber or engineered vault, it could finally unlock the secret that has puzzled explorers for more than 200 years. Rick Lagina and his team may now be closer than ever to the discovery that could completely rewrite Oak Island's history. Yet, there is another obstacle that has defeated generations of treasure hunters: the island's infamous flood tunnels. For more than 2 centuries, countless excavation attempts have ended the same way. Just as workers reached deeper levels, water would suddenly surge into the shafts, bringing the operation to a halt. Even today, experts continue debating whether this underground water system formed naturally or was deliberately engineered centuries ago as a sophisticated defense mechanism. Historical records describe the same pattern repeatedly. Once excavations reached depths of around 80 to 90 feet, water would begin rushing into the pit with incredible force. In several cases, the flooding happened so quickly that entire shafts became submerged within hours. One of the earliest major excavations during the 1800s encountered exactly this problem. After reaching approximately 90 feet, the workers faced an overwhelming flood that continued despite their efforts to pump the water out. They spent hours draining the shaft, only to watch it fill again almost immediately. Further investigations eventually suggested that narrow underground channels connected directly to the Atlantic Ocean might surround the money pit. Some engineers estimate these passages could stretch 150 to 200 feet before reaching the shoreline. If those estimates are correct, it would imply that whoever designed the underground system intentionally created a network that would flood the excavation whenever someone dug too deep. History is filled with similar stories. Time after time, explorers believed they were only moments away from uncovering the treasure before water destroyed months of progress. During another major excavation campaign in the 1960s, powerful drilling equipment was brought in to overcome the challenge. Instead, the project ended after severe ground collapse and uncontrollable flooding forced the operation to shut down. Several workers later recalled that the incoming water pressure was so intense that even industrial pumping equipment struggled to keep up. This is one of the reasons Oak Island has earned its reputation as one of the world's most difficult and dangerous treasure hunts. Season 13, however, marks a major shift in strategy. Rather than digging aggressively, Rick Lagina and the team are using carefully controlled drilling techniques combined with modern water management technology. Heavy-duty industrial pumps, reinforced steel casing systems, and specialized sealing methods are now being used to reduce the risk of sudden flooding before excavation continues. Some of these pumps are capable of removing thousands of liters of water every minute, allowing the team to work far more safely than previous generations of treasure hunters ever could. Even so, Oak Island remains far more than an engineering challenge. It has evolved into one of archaeology's greatest scientific mysteries, where every new discovery raises even more questions than it answers. Even with the remarkable discoveries made during Season 13, the evidence has sparked an intense debate among experts rather than a clear conclusion. Archaeologists, geologists, and historians all interpret the latest findings differently, and each field offers its own explanation for what may be hidden beneath Oak Island. Some researchers believe the latest scan results represent the strongest evidence ever uncovered that an artificial underground system exists beneath the island. They argue that the combination of unusually dense underground zones, unexplained metallic signatures, and centuries-old wooden structures is far too consistent to dismiss as coincidence. According to this view, the data points toward something that was deliberately built rather than naturally formed. Others, however, remain skeptical. Many geologists caution that Oak Island sits on extremely complicated geological terrain. Natural rock formations, compressed sediment layers, underground voids, and mineral-rich deposits can sometimes create radar images and density readings that appear highly unusual. In their opinion, none of the current evidence can be considered conclusive until excavators physically uncover a man-made structure or recover an unmistakable artifact. Because of this disagreement, Oak Island continues to exist somewhere between scientific investigation and historical mystery. One group believes the team could be standing on the verge of uncovering one of history's greatest hidden treasures, while another believes the entire mystery may ultimately be explained by natural geology. Despite those conflicting opinions, one fact has not changed. Rick Lagina and his team have no intention of walking away. After investing years of work into the island, they are determined to keep pushing forward until the evidence provides a definitive answer. Part of what has kept Oak Island in the global spotlight for more than 2 centuries is not only the mystery itself, but the staggering value that could be hidden beneath it. Many treasure researchers estimate that if a sealed chamber or engineered vault truly exists underground, its contents could theoretically be worth between $150 million and $250 million. Some of the more optimistic estimates place that figure even higher. The reason these estimates are so extraordinary is that the legends surrounding Oak Island involve far more than piles of gold coins. Over the years, theories have connected the island to Spanish treasure fleets, pirate fortunes, lost French royal valuables, Knights Templar relics, and even priceless historical manuscripts. If only a small portion of those stories turned out to be true, the discovery would involve much more than precious metals. Historians point out that medieval relics, ancient documents, or rare religious artifacts could carry historical importance far beyond their material value. In some cases, a single lost manuscript or archive could be considered virtually priceless because of its significance to museums and researchers around the world. Although no major treasure has yet been recovered, previous excavations have uncovered enough intriguing evidence to keep these theories alive. Old coins, historic tools, timber structures, and metallic fragments have all been found during earlier digs. None of these discoveries prove that a treasure vault exists, but together they suggest that something unusual may have been constructed beneath the island long ago. That is exactly why the latest discoveries from Season 13 have generated so much excitement. If the mysterious anomaly detected between 90 and 100 feet underground turns out to be part of a sealed chamber, the possibilities become extraordinary. Some researchers speculate that such a vault could contain thousands of gold coins, silver artifacts, valuable jewelry, historic relics, or cargo from an ancient ship. At today's gold prices alone, approximately 50,000 ounces of gold would be valued at around $100 million. If historically significant artifacts were discovered alongside it, the total value could easily climb beyond $200 million. But every step toward that potential discovery comes with enormous risk. The area where Rick Lagina and his crew are currently working is considered one of the most unstable sections of Oak Island. Beneath the surface lies a complicated network of soft sediments, collapsed excavation shafts, and underground flood tunnels. In such conditions, even a minor mistake can trigger a dangerous collapse or allow water to pour into the excavation site without warning. Similar incidents have occurred many times throughout Oak Island's history, with drilling operations interrupted by sudden cave-ins or powerful flooding that forced crews to abandon their work. Because of these dangers, the deep drilling campaign planned for Season 13 is regarded as one of the most ambitious and expensive operations ever attempted on the island. Reports suggest that daily operating costs can range from approximately $40,000 to $60,000. Those expenses include specialized drilling equipment, heavy cranes, industrial pumping systems, safety infrastructure, engineering specialists, and the large workforce required to keep the operation running. If excavation continues for several weeks, the total cost could rise to between $2 million and $5 million. That means this is no longer just a search for hidden treasure. It has become a high-stakes, multi-million-dollar gamble. Every single day, Rick Lagina and his team must weigh the evidence carefully and decide whether the next drill hole could finally reveal the truth, or whether continuing the excavation risks spending millions chasing another mystery hidden beneath Oak Island. Every foot the team drills deeper brings two new challenges: greater danger and significantly higher costs. Yet, for Rick Lagina, stopping now is simply not an option. After years of relentless searching, he believes Oak Island still holds one final secret waiting to be uncovered. If the next stage of drilling reaches the correct location, the discovery that generations of explorers have pursued for more than 2 centuries may finally come to light. That possibility is exactly why people around the world are eagerly awaiting the next results from Oak Island. If a hidden vault truly lies beneath the island, it would represent far more than the discovery of buried treasure. It could become one of the most remarkable archaeological breakthroughs in the island's 200-year history. That is what makes the Season 13 finale so important. For months, Rick Lagina and his team have gathered every possible piece of evidence: core samples, radar images, seismic data, density measurements, and unusual metallic readings. When all of those clues were compared, they consistently pointed toward one particular location where investigators believe a concealed chamber or underground cavity could exist. As a result, the team has designed what may be the most advanced excavation strategy ever attempted on Oak Island. This time, the plan is simple: confirm first, excavate second. Instead of immediately bringing in heavy machinery, the first step involves deploying high-resolution robotic camera probes. These compact cameras can be lowered through boreholes only 3 to 4 inches wide while transmitting live video from depths exceeding 100 feet. If a hidden chamber or underground void really exists, these probes could provide the first direct visual evidence ever captured beneath Oak Island. Throughout the island's history, countless expeditions have claimed they were only moments away from discovering the treasure. Yet no team has ever managed to obtain clear footage from inside the suspected underground structures. That is why this camera operation is considered one of the most critical parts of the entire investigation. The exploration will not stop there. The crew also plans to extend several of the existing boreholes beyond their current depths. While many holes already reach approximately 90 to 100 feet, engineers intend to drill even deeper in hopes of intersecting the mysterious anomaly detected during previous surveys. If the unusual density readings mark the outer boundary of a hidden chamber, the deeper boreholes could reach the structure itself. Reinforced casing pipes and heavy drilling systems will be used to stabilize the shafts, allowing the robotic cameras to descend safely without the surrounding ground collapsing. The next phase depends entirely on what those cameras reveal. Should the live footage show unmistakable signs of man-made construction, such as timber supports, stone walls, or metallic objects, the team is prepared to begin a carefully controlled excavation directly above the target. Unlike previous treasure hunts, every step will be carried out with extreme precision. Oak Island's unstable soil, collapsed shafts, and unpredictable flood tunnels leave little room for error. Even a small mistake could jeopardize the entire operation. If everything proceeds according to plan, the world could witness something never before seen in the island's long history: a clear view of a hidden underground structure beneath Oak Island. It is a moment treasure hunters have dreamed about since the Money Pit was first discovered in 1795. Over the past 200 years, more than 40 major expeditions have attempted to solve this mystery. Tens of millions of dollars have been invested, countless shafts have been excavated, and generations of explorers have risked everything searching for answers. Those efforts have uncovered intriguing clues along the way: wooden platforms buried deep underground, ancient coins, metal fragments, carved stones, and other mysterious artifacts. Yet none of them has provided the final proof needed to explain what truly lies beneath the island. And so, the central question remains: is there really a centuries-old treasure vault hidden below Oak Island? Could it contain pirate gold, priceless historical relics, or even a long-lost archive that has remained untouched for hundreds of years? Or has the world spent 2 centuries chasing a mystery created by legend, coincidence, and unusual geology? Experts remain deeply divided. Some believe the growing collection of evidence is too consistent to ignore, and that the island almost certainly hides an engineered underground system. Others argue that Oak Island's complex geological formations can still explain many of the strange signals detected by modern instruments. Despite those opposing opinions, Rick Lagina and his team remain committed to finding the answer. After years of research, excavation, and enormous financial investment, they believe they owe it to history to push the investigation one step further. Because if those camera probes finally capture images of a hidden chamber, the discovery would extend far beyond Oak Island itself. It would become one of the most significant archaeological revelations in modern history. And perhaps the most astonishing possibility is this: Rick Lagina and his team may now be only a few feet away from uncovering the secret that has kept Oak Island's greatest mystery alive for more than 200 years.